Whether you're just starting out or well on your way as a professional writer, director, actor, or editor, I'd love to hear about the challenges that you're facing. I'm here to help. Learn from the mistakes that I've made. Let's locate your unique voice and bring it to the screen. These are my adventures in cinema, and I hope you enjoy them. I mean, the audacity of the filmmaker, obviously, that would be the most obvious answer to that is like, how audacious has the filmmaker been in putting across the story? And audacity can come from something extremely simple. Abbas Kiarostami, I think, I think one of the films that set me on my journey to make films was Where Is My Friend's Home? And the story is about a kid, maybe a 8-year-old child, who by mistake takes his schoolmate's homework notebook and puts it into his own bag and comes home. And in the school, the teacher has told this friend of this child that if you don't do your homework and show it to me tomorrow, I'm going to expel you from the school. So now this child, by mistake, has taken that other boy's book. And the whole movie is about how this little boy is trying to return that book to the friend. And he has to go across, he has to leave his village, go across some, considerable distance for the child, enter another village that he doesn't know anything about, find that kid's home, and then return the book. That's all the movie is about. But it is an audacious film in the sense that it is audacious in its emotional impact and its scope. It draws on the best of Hitchcockian suspense theories, on how to tease out the moment and how to make the audience just say, no, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there. And of course, sure enough, the protagonist, goes exactly where they're not supposed to go. I mean, you can have a film which has deep emotional impact, but without the audacity. And you come out of it saying, okay, that was a good film. I mean, I really felt something. You might even cry up, you might even tear up. But a film that combines audacity, scope, vision, and it's not necessarily, like in my example, it doesn't necessarily mean it's got to be big. But it's got to be big in here. It's got to have a grand idea. It's got to have a big thought behind it. I also like films that have a lot of layers in it. I like films with complexity. I like nuanced storytelling per se. And I like it when the filmmaker makes me, the audience, work. I don't like to have films served up to me on a platter. And what I mean by that is that I have a brain, and my brain has been conditioned since my childhood to look at various images and join them up. So I join the dots as I go along. And that is what helps me as an audience participate in your filmmaking. Because if you are going to just simply have your actor via dialogue tell me blah 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 blah, tell me what is going on and why he is or she is sitting in a room and what she and he is about to do next, that unfortunately I find a lot of TV serials and OTT platforms, the web shows do a lot of that stuff now. They just tell you everything, so there's no space for your brain to work actually as an audience. And because it's so plotted and it's so interesting, you're just sort of going along with it. But what I think real cinema does, and what great cinema does actually, is it makes you use your brain. It makes you as the audience engage. And when you use your brain, you are problem solving. And when we problem solve, we get engaged. And when we get engaged, we are in it. We are in the film. We are going along with the ride, with the protagonists, with the filmmaker, with the screenwriter, right? With the editors, with everybody else, right? And when we are doing that, we are really part of the filmmaking experience. Then I think the whole journey, this is a 360-degree bubble, if you like, which is the last cog in that wheel is the audience. The audience has to fit right in there. And the job of the audience is to make sense, is to make sense of all the dots that you put up on the screen. So making it participatory is a craft. And that is the craft, I think, of filmmaking. And that I think is what that's what I like about filmmakers. Filmmakers who come up with a great idea, a grand idea. Filmmakers who say, okay, I'm going to really emotionally move this audience, but I'm not going to make it easy for them. They've got to use their brains. They've got to work things out. And then I think the combination of those three things, when they align, that for me makes a great film.